Hello, everybody. This is Carol from Friendly Quail. I'm here today for part 4 of my English grammar journal book, and I'm working on some tags and one pocket. I got a bunch of stuff ready. I got it all ready to put together so that I could just show you. This is the one I did last video, but I have since stitched around and added an eyelet and a piece of twine up at the top. So I just wanted to show you that. And the next thing I'm working on is I made this bookmark. Basically, it's a bookmark. Using the original spine of the book, and it was really in tough shape. You can barely read it or anything, but I did put it on. I have some coffee dyed paper. I put a couple drops of some alcohol ink on it. One of Tim Holtz's little guys. On the back, I used a flashcard, just part of a flashcard. And I have a string on the top, a black string. So I'm going to put it like in a little pocket. So I was making this. I took 2 book pages and glued them together. And then I scored it for turning. And I'm making this little fold-up thing. But I ended up putting some masking tape on it because I felt it looked like it was starting to crack already. So I did put masking tape on it, and I've got this so that it'll go over. And I also filled up my glue bottle, and when I started filling it up, it was like water, my art glitter glue. So I quick stopped, and then I shook it up really well, and then I redid it. Unfortunately, it's still pretty watery. So I'm just putting a little bit on the edge, and then I'll put a little bit on this one because that'll overlap. Okay. And I'm going to put a little bit here. For that turnip. It looks like I didn't quite get enough in here. So I made that little kind of like pocket envelope that this will fit in. And might stick out a little bit on the top. Well, no, I guess I cut it down enough. I did cut a little bit of it off. And then on the outside of this, I'm just going to put one of these that I made. I'm sure I made a video of doing this, where you take book page, fold it funny, kind of funky, and then glue it, and then end up putting something on top of it. So I'm going to turn this over, and I'm just going to put this on it. I'm kind of looking at the mushrooms for what my up and down is. And now we have a little pocket for the bookmark. So that's done. This was a little pocket I had made ahead of time. I put one of the pictures on a piece of cardstock, cut it down around the picture. This wasn't a full-size picture, just these 2 little kids being buddies. And I'm going to put this on the top. And I rounded the corners just like this was, so that I can just put it on just like this. And so I'm going to put the bottom on first. And so I'm going to kind of line that up right here. And then I already have glue on there, so I don't need more. And I can, this is almost a little bit too much with that. It's not quite as watery as it was, but oh my gosh, it was terrible. Okay, so I can put that on, and then I'm going to just hold it down for a little bit. And really, that's all I'm going to do for a little journal card. It'll go in a pocket. I had made these pockets out of leftover scraps. I have another one of these. Do I want that on there? I think I do. It does go over the edge, though. Maybe I need it more to one side. Yeah, I'll put it on where the paper, this paper is a little bit crunchy. So I want stuff to be on it so that it'll be down. Okay, I'm going to put it kind of on the edge. I got to make sure if I have any glue on here that it's not going to glue it shut. Oh, gotta grab a piece of, got a little glue on there. Okay, so this will be a little pocket with the two buddies sticking out. And even though I have one similar to this now, I have two of them. They'll be in different signatures, so it won't be anywhere near it. I'm going to leave this out until that other part totally dries. Okay, and then another thing I did is I got this little, this was a clothing tag, and I covered it with paper on both sides, and I just clipped the corners off, and I was doing a little sanding to round the corners. I'll have to make sure. And let's see, I need to do a little bit more on this corner. Now, this tag had a hole in it. Put a little bit of this on here and squeeze it together because it's kind of like falling apart. I did that on the other side too, and I just went like this and put a little glue on it and held it for a little bit, and it closed it right up. Okay, now I will want a little distressing. Get that over here a little closer. I'm not sure what I'll do with this, but it's because it'll be like a little itty bitty tag, or I could hang it, I could paper clip it, you know, there's a lot of different things I could do with it because it'll just be little. Now I'm going to put a little bit of this mulberry paper on, and I'm not going to glue the entire thing down because it's thin, and the picture will end up gluing on it, and I wanted to kind of offset it like to the side like this so that it sort of sticks off the edges. Now there is a hole here, and I can make that back again. Cut a little bit of that off. There we go. I'll either have a little cord or, you know, something on there to kind of cover that up. And then I took this little picture of this guy with his little dog, and I rounded the corners, and I'm going to put that on here. Now it's kind of thick, so I might like pin it so that it hangs off the side, or, you know, I don't know. We'll see. And I do have this already distressed. I'm going to put that on, and I do have it a little bit below the hole, so it's not exactly in the center. And then I can hang that on something, or we'll see. Wait till I show you the flip through, and then you'll see how I use it. Okay. And I have some more tags. So I got everything out, and I've distressed it. I took my time figuring out what I was going to do. This is from a newspaper game thing, where this is actually part of the answer. What the answers were. This was for the side I have up is for Sudoku, which my husband usually does, and I do the crosswords. And I'm just going to put this on one side like this. Up a little higher, I think. Maybe not. I take that back. It's going to go lower. Okay. This is going to go up higher like that. This is part of the grammar book where someone had filled in answers. It had to have been a kid, because some of the answers weren't that good. So you figure, you know, 4th, 5th, 6th grader, I don't know what it was, because it says intermediate grades. I'm going to leave that down enough to put a hole in there. I'm going to put, this is another one of those that looks like a little flashcard, but this one is printed on paper, not cardstock, so it's pretty thin. And I'm going to put that on here. And to fill in that other hole down there, I've got a little, like a playing card. And it happens to be a 7 of spades. The flash card is a 7. 3 plus 4. That's a little more elementary than the intermediate grades. I got a little Tim Holtz guy. I love these. I'm using a lot of these in here. I might not use them in very many things, but in this case, I am using a lot of them in this journal. So see, you're not having to go through all my time figuring out what I want to do, but you're seeing the finished product. I'm putting it together. And I want to make sure that you can see the flashcard behind him. And let's see, I have a number 7 little number. I think that needs to, I figured, oh, with all the 7s, that would be a good thing. Get that on here, and over the edge there. Because I want you to be able to see as answers, but I'm also got some other things to put on there. I have a word, explore. This is one that I copied off on paper as well. And these were made with those, I can't think of the name of them. They're plastic, and you put the letters and push it down, and then it pops up. And then I made a whole bunch of words and put them on paper, and I made a document out of it. So if you'd like a copy of that, email me. So on my last video, I put my email address because that was the first time I offered. I can probably put it on this one too. Hopefully I'll remember. And then I decided it needed a bug. There. So now I'm going to be punching a hole in there. I'll probably sew around this one. This was some of the same newspaper thing. They had like coloring pages in it, but you can still write on it. So I used it as my backing. So this will get a hole in some type of a ribbon or string or something on it too. All right, so another one down. Now this one, I used some paper. It's like handmade paper. And I just cut it in the shape of a tag. And it's not super hard, but it's a lot thicker than regular paper. And I don't want a lot of bulk in this journal. It's already got enough in it. So I'm going to put some dots of glue. This is a different kind of mulberry paper. I've been getting into using that lately. Just gives it, I love the feathery look on the outside. I don't need tons of glue because if the outside is a little bit up, that's okay. And I did make a mark on here for myself to say, okay, this is where I kind of want the corner of this paper. Right over here. All right. And then I have some coffee dyed book page. Get that on. Okay. I have Tim Holtz, Little Girl and Boy. She looks like she has a school bag or backpack type thing on. So I thought that would be appropriate. And it looked like big brother, little sister. Mom took a picture of them before they left for school. We used to do that with our kids every year, the last day or the first day of school in the fall. And they usually had a jacket on. Maybe not as heavy of a jacket, but they had a jacket. I would go outside the house. We would take a picture. First day, both the boys together once they were both in school. And let's see. I think I'm going to put him up high enough that his head goes over that white. And I have a word that says discover. Got a little glue that came out here. I'm going to put up here. This again is I just did a bunch of words on a Word document. I saved it later as a can't think of the name, the one that starts with P. Because that way anybody can usually open it, even if you don't have Word. And let's see, I think I'll put this down here. I wasn't sure about that, but I think it'll be fine. Getting glue on my fingers. And we'll just kind of put that across the bottom down there. Now I do take these, what do you call them? Reinforcements, for hole reinforcements. And I found that there's some of them that are more plasticky, the newer ones, and they don't work as well. But I found some that were paper, and these are Vintage Photo, and these are walnut. And looking at this Vintage Photo, I think it'll look better. What I do sometimes, if I don't want to put in an eyelet in, I will figure out where I want this, put it on there, and then punch a hole right there. And if I use this one, I can see where the hole is, but this one's a little bit smaller than the actual circle, but that works. So that'll get a string in it, probably get sewing around it as well. You could put one on the back too if you want. I should have done the hole before I put it on, because I can line it up and get it pretty even, and then I can use my bigger hole punch, because I don't have to worry about missing the hole. I think I got a little bit. I'm going to rip just a little bit of this Discover off on the bottom down here. It's going down a little farther. It's not ripping very good with the glue being wet. Well, it'll work. Okay, so we got another tag. Now these two are going to be the tags that go in that little bag one that I decorated that go from the sides. And again, I'm using some Tim Holtz guys, and I'm using some words. I decided this one, I'm going to have to cut a little bit of it off once I get it on, just to kind of put this down the side. I'll go ahead and cut that little bit off. Now I think I will also use a hole reinforcer. This one is already there. I need a little bit of extra glue on the hole reinforcer. I should have done that on the other one too, but sometimes they come loose. And I think I'll use my tweezers to place it, and then take it off. So now I have it reinforced. I could put another one on the back. I probably will, just because this is a little bit thinner cardboard. I didn't want my journal to get so bulky that I have to worry about it. So yeah. Sometimes when you buy these, they come, these tag things, but these didn't have anything on them. That's good. Okay, now I have another piece of this paper that I laid a stencil on, and so it made that darker when I coffee dyed. You coffee dye the paper and then lay the stencil on top of it, and wait till it's dry before you take it off. And the coffee pools inside the holes of the stencil, so you get kind of a cool design, whatever you want on there. It's getting way too much, way too much glue. I'm gonna put this little guy on. Might have to leave my glue cap off for a little while to get it a little bit dried up, although it's not as bad as it was in the first place. All right. Get this little guy on here. I think I originally had him over a little farther. I took some words that I had in a row and I ripped them apart so that I could put them on here. I also have a little number I'm going to put on there. Should have looked. Yeah, I think I have to put it over here. Let's see. If I would have put them a little further over to the left, I would have been able to put this up a little higher, which I originally was planning on. I got these ready yesterday. Let's see, good. Things. Way too much glue. Oh, too much glue, too much glue. Good things, because this is just paper. This is just regular copy paper that I coffee dyed and then printed the words on. Are going. Oh, I can see his foot coming up too. I notice that when I glue those on, sometimes that the legs like to come up to happen. Have to put a little more glue under his foot. Ah. Hopefully when that dries, that'll be good. And I'll decide later if I need to sew around that. I may or may not. We'll see. what it looks like when it's dry. Good things are going to happen. Okay, now I got another one here. Okay. How do I want, how did I do this background? Like this, I think. I'm gonna lay him on here. I think I had him over here. Oh, I gotta remember to put the things on too before I glue this on. Got a number. It's gonna go there. Today is full of possibilities. We'll go down here like that. Okay. First I have to put the whole reinforcer on. They are sticky, but it's like washi tape. They just don't stick the best all the time. All right. One on the back. So last night we had fun. We went to a potluck. We have once a month in our community. They call it Hot and Hearty. The other Fridays they have TGIF, and people just bring, if they want to go and bring something to drink. A lot of people go out to eat after. We were invited out with some of the people last time, so that was good. They like us, I guess, enough that they're willing to have us, invite us out. Okay, let's see. All right. This has that blue line on. I think I want it this down. It was coffee dyed, and it was like children's paper. Not the children's paper I have. I got this from someone else. And here. I don't think I did the edge of this side. All right. We'll put him on. Anyway, that was fun. I made a dessert that I couldn't eat because it had wheat in it, and I'm gluten intolerant. But I was asked for the recipe, so it turned out pretty good. And it was like, I called it a fudge cake. It was made in a crock pot. Any of you ever done that? Should have put it on this side so I can see where I'm putting them. Okay. It has chocolate cake mix, and I was going to make it gluten-free, but the store that I ran to only had really expensive, like $7.50 for gluten-free chocolate cake, and it only made one. It was only like half a cake mix. So it would only make one layer, and I needed a full one. So I bought a regular cake mix Betty Crocker for $2.35 or something. I only had to do one, which meant that I couldn't eat the dessert, but that's okay because I don't need dessert anyway. But it turned out really well. Never made it before, so I was glad it turned out. Why do I do that? Because I would only make something like that for a potluck because it's way too much for just us. Our neighbor through the backyard, she was one who asked me for the recipe, and she said everybody at their table went back for seconds of that dessert. So it was very good. All right. I was very happy about that. And she was standing waiting for the person who brought it to come over, because my name was already gone because they were cleaning up, because they always put the name on it. And so she was standing by the crock pot where the crock pot was sitting, waiting for me to pick up the crock pot so she could see who made it. And then it was like, oh, that was you? Because I know her. She's my neighbor. So I wrote out the recipe for her. Okay, today is full of possibilities. All right. And I have one more. And then I got to see where these are going to go and how many pockets I need and that type of thing. Maybe I'll use a circle thing on here too. Let's see, here's my bigger one. If I get in far enough. All right. And I'll use this. I get glue all over my hands. I'm using my fingers to smear it out and everything, and then it's like, why do I do that? See, this one has a 1/4 inch hole, and my other one is a 3/16. But once I put that on, I was afraid I wouldn't be able to get in the middle of it with the 1/4 inch one, because that one is harder to see where you're putting it. Like, you can't see through the hole. All right. I mean, I have eyelets on a couple of them, but they are thicker, and so okay. So this is going to go here. I've got this guy, and he has his arm out. So I thought I'd put this like field label like it was in his hand. Excuse me. So when I put him down, I'm not going to put anything on his hand until I'm ready. And then I have a 30. Using a lot of numbers and things. I haven't used them that much lately. And then I have a number to go down here. I think that'll work pretty good. Okay. Take that off, take that off, take that off. This goes pretty much more over to that side. And again, I'm not going to put a whole lot of glue on here. Well, I'm trying not to put a lot of glue on there. because it kind of soaks through this. This is a handmade paper. It's made in Thailand. Boop, boop. All right. I'm going to hang on to his hand and not put the glue down on that until I have the sign there. Somehow I just feel like they should be leaning on something or doing something when their hands out like that, because I'm sure they were when they put that, when they took the picture. These are from photographs. All right, get this on. Oops. Got it on the top. I need a little bit more glue under his coat over here. And I got a little more than I needed. There's pieces of vegetation in the mulberry paper. So sometimes things don't lay down as well as I'd like them to. All right. Put this, glue on this. All right. And get that up here. And one more. So when I do the flip through, you'll see where I use these and what I put on them for the rest of it. And that's all I'm going to do for today. Now I have to kind of see where I'm at, and I think I'm getting ready to sew the signatures in so that I will have an idea, because this has the fabric spine, and so it looks like it's really fat, but once I put a piece of cardboard in there, then it's not quite as bad. You know, it'll be more like this. So then my pinch isn't quite as bad. It'll be like that. But I still have to, you know, I can't look at all this stuff I'm putting in there. So it's going to be something. Well, and this one too. So anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for being with me today. Hope you enjoyed just a quick craft with me. And thanks for being with me. Love you guys. Bye.